This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing the Mothership role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is called The Signal. It was written by Morgan Llewellyn, who is also our warden for tonight, and this is a one-shot. Before we begin, I would like to mention that I am currently in the process of updating our Patreon site. I want to make sure your contributions are put to their best use. Your generous support helps us to pay for our website, our club space, and everything that goes into our video production. It's your support that keeps us going, and we deeply appreciate it. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Morgan?
Thank you, Thom. When Colony A-9972 was first founded, there were 20,000 inhabitants. Now, 6 months later, there are only 8,000 of them left. Only 3 months into its existence, A-9972 was struck by a massive radiation burst emanating from a neighboring planet. The radiation destroyed almost everything. Electrical fires consumed most of the stations, and the consumption of oxygen suffocated those who didn't burn. Almost all of the androids were lost. Martial law was declared. There were riots. There was fear. There was death. No ship is scheduled to come to A-9972 for another 5 years. Those who have survived have tried to pick up the pieces of their lives, but a lurking anxiety remains. What will happen if another burst comes? To address these fears, the military council has decided to assemble a team to investigate that neighboring planet and to find the source. So we're going to go around and introduce everybody. If you want to introduce your name and then give us a little bit of information about what the last 3 months have looked like for you, starting with Dr. Neil Thoughtley?
Body 2.
Body 2.
I'm Dr. Neil Fuddy 2. I am a physicist. I specialize in hyperdrives and hyperspace travel. I didn't expect to become a particularly valuable person, but in this case, so much of our equipment was destroyed, and so many of our other scientists and so forth that we've needed to be able to, double duty on all sorts of things. And I've been working with Burnout Conrad on. He's a pilot, and I'm making sure that everything is working well on the ship. So I'm doing a little engineering. Everything else, it's been difficult. I've lost everyone that I knew. Just have to see what's out there, and hopefully it's not a hostile entity.
Move from there to Max Burnout Conrad.
Yes, I'm here as a pilot, part of the military force on the planet. It's been a very challenging 3 months. One part, it's people have died, but also the second part where I've had to enforce the law and try to keep the peace. And it's not been pleasant. I haven't enjoyed it. So I volunteered for this position to go figure it out. I want to figure out what caused this problem, and I'm hoping that that we as a group can do that, and maybe even prevent whatever caused it in the first place.
Gina Marie.
Hello, uh, Gina Marie, the Marine. The last 3 months have been a nightmare for me. I mean, I'm lowest ranking around here, it seems, and so I was put on, cleaning up the bodies. Just did that for the first month. It was awful. Still have nightmares about it. So when they said there was something that would get me out of this place, I just sign me up. Let's go. Let's get out of here. I got it. There's just this smell that's lingering. I can't get it out. I can't get it off my clothes. Get me out of here. Been working with the chief this whole time. He's been great. What can he do, right? Like we're in this mess, but hopefully there's a way forward. Just doing something feels better than just sitting around cleaning stuff up. That's me. Looking forward to it.
Right. Chief Echo Havoc.
So I am a contracted Marine officer, Echo Havoc, gear firearms expert, and field tactics chief officer. And I've been in command of the Marine operations on planet for the last 3 months, but working with the Marine, Sheena Marie, we have kind of exhausted all options, and things are starting to feel like we are just going through the motions. And I'll swear to defend the citizens and scientists under our charge and our team. See what we can do.
Okay. And Lift R.
I've been designated as Lift-R. My primary purpose was loading and unloading. Due to my simple nature, I was one of the few surviving automatons, and I was given a certain upgrade, which was like an increase to my processing power, an awakening of sorts to my self-awareness. I have several hobbies. I enjoy picking things up, putting things down, and now saving people. I've been digging through rubble, recovering what I can. My fatality rate is only 60%, so I am the best of my class, and I've been selected for this mission.
Okay. So the five of you are assembled together in a small briefing room. So eventually, um, you wait for a few minutes, and Commander Richardson, who has assumed complete and total governing powers over the remaining colony, um, comes in. Well, I see you've all made it at ease. Listen, these last 3 months have been, well, to put it mildly, challenging for us all. What tenebrous order we've managed to tenuous order we managed to restore to the station um, is at risk of collapse. There are many who continue to spread fear and anxiety that that planet will send another burst. I have hand selected each of you to take one of our few remaining shuttles and go over and check it out. We need to find out what the hell happened and how to make sure that it never happens again.
Yeah. Do we suspect that it was a natural occurrence, or was it definitely something that was artificial? Um, what details do we know about the signal
How the hell
itself?
should I know?
You don't know.
I mean, most of our equipment were destroyed when it hit us. We could only barely ascertain where the hell it came from. Any data
Yeah.
that we could have recorded was destroyed in the fires.
How long is it going to take us to get to the other planet? Uh,
You would know, um, Dr.
well, yeah.
Thoughty, that you've done these calculations. It's going to take you several months to travel that far.
Yeah. It's like going from Earth to Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't use the hyperdrive because the hyperdrive will take us all the way outside of the in a matter of seconds. So it's got to do it the old-fashioned way. Uh, I mean, we'll bring whatever equipment we have to analyze the situation. Um, Maybe it'll be a good thing if it's not a natural occurrence. If it's not a natural occurrence, then we can maybe fix it. If it's some sort of weird natural thing, don't know what we can do. But it might not ever happen again, or it might not happen again for 10 million years. It's a complete mystery. I'm just glad we got the Marines backing us up.
For whatever you need, we got you. We're there.
We'll begin reconnaissance and analysis of the area as soon as possible and make sure we have all the gear we need in case of emergency.
I mean,
And
even if it
it's
is natural, I'll shoot the crap out of anything you want me to. I'll blow anything up. I don't care.
well, we have to understand it before we can do anything like that. But
I'll go off
um,
of what chief or you say. You tell me where to shoot and I'll shoot it.
well, I got to say, I am glad that you're at least. I know that you can't spare any medical personnel, but Liftar has medic programming, so it's nice that you're willing to spare him and let him go with us.
Yes, I'm top of the line after the extermination of everyone better than me.
Glad you're here
Well, it's
with
always
us,
nice.
Lifter.
Yeah. So when are we leaving? When do you want us to leave?
As soon as possible. Um, we've made sure that we've loaded you up with enough supplies that we can spare for the shuttle. It should be all prepped and ready to go. Is that correct, Burnout?
Yes, sir, that is correct. As far as the ship is concerned, it's ship shape and Bristol fashion. We're ready to go anytime you want.
Excellent.
If I
Yes.
may be so bold as to suggest, um, there's a scientist who managed to survive Pillbox, I think is his last name. He's competent. He should be able to do some of the calculations and stuff for your own survival. I think he's a botanist.
Yeah, I'll be in contact with him shortly. The further you get out, the greater the communications delay will be. Once you are planet side, I expect it should take about 7 minutes before um, radio
Or,
communications can.
yeah, yeah, 14 actually, seven there and seven back.
Right,
All
you are the
right.
scientist.
Well, I'm packed up and ready to go. Max,
Well,
what's the name of our ship?
the name of our ship is Delilah,
I-
and I've frozen.
No, you're not frozen to us.
Okay, sorry.
It's cold in space.
Is that?
So, I mean,
All
as
right.
far as some from your initial, and when this colony was founded here, this was the planet it was established on was the most viable candidate for terraformation. It had a lot of necessary compounds already present. It had a thick atmosphere. Had basically a lot going for it. The planet that it came from is further away from the small star, and was considered uh, infeasible for colonization due to the thin atmosphere and bitter cold.
What's the designation for that place?
It's 9973 is the planet,
9973. Yeah, makes sense.
just numbered.
All right. Get our stuff and get going. Say your goodbyes to whoever you need to say goodbye to.
And
Thank you, Commander.
does anybody have anybody to say goodbye to before you go?
Some of the people I've been working with probably for the last 3 months, I'll say goodbye.
Yeah, I'll get into contact with the rest of my unit, Red Gear, and they'll be without me for a little while. I'll return safe and sound for our next mission.
All right. So I get my stuff, my bag and everything, and I get on board the ship and I head towards whatever accommodations they have uh, for us. A bunk, probably.
So this shuttle was primarily designed to ferry supplies around the planet. Its original intention was not interplanetary travel. It has been retrofitted to that purpose, but as such, the conditions are very cramped. There are no they cannot fit any cryopods.
Well, we'll bring a bunch of board games or something that we can play. Um, I'm going to hope that it has artificial gravity and we're not all just floating around losing our muscle mass.
So there's a problem there.
Yeah, I got to
About
be
the
now.
whole no gravity problem. Again,
Yeah.
this shuttle can barely accomplish this task, even with the all the effort that has gone into um, making something that works that can leave the planet.
Well, we'll do what we can. Uh, Gentlemen, lady, officers.
I've grown accustomed to privacy. Will I have my own storage closet?
You'll have to look around, see what you can find. I don't think that we have the luxury of privacy much. It's not for the next few months.
Not at all, Doctor. We'll try not to get into each other's way. And if we have any maps of the area that we can familiarize ourselves with, I'll take a look at those. In the meantime, talk to.
So all the initial system scans that were done when the colony was first established, those have mostly been lost.
Do we know
We by
anything
chance,
like what the topography might be like, the terrain at all? Is it wastelands and mountains, or do we have any idea?
It's essentially a ball of ice.
Okay. All
do
right,
we
I'll
have
to. Okay.
do we have something that we can set up as a habitat when we get there?
You have the shuttle.
Hmm. This
All right.
There's not room to bring habitation units with you. There's not enough space.
Well, Mr. Conrad, I hope you are prepared to take command should something happen to myself or Gina Marie. So you are the only one with the experience to fly the shuttle. You'll be in charge if either of us are gone.
Yes, sir. I'll get Sarah back.
Thank you very much. All right, if everyone is ready, thank you,
Yep.
Commander.
So the five of you cram yourselves into the shuttle. And as you take off, you can see the scarred, jagged remains of what used to be a sprawling colony system. A burnt out shell of what it used to be. You can almost see the mounds of the mass graves, even from this high up. You get lots of well wishes over the radio. There's lots of chatter, but after a day, 2 days, a week, eventually they stop talking to you so constantly. And it is the five of you alone in the vast silence of space, cooped up.
Anybody ever heard of role-playing games? We can do that while we're playing. It's better than chess.
It was better than poker. I don't have enough money to play poker.
Mhm. Yeah, playing
So,
poker for chips sucks.
so we will say for the last 3 months that you've endured and the several months that it takes you in this small little shuttle, each of you will add 2d6 stress.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, not too
10.
bad. I only
Yeah.
had 3 stress.
6.
You said 2d6, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just added 10. No,
Yep.
8. Just added
I added
8.
10.
Oh
I've got
no.
12.
So our stress starts at
Starts
2.
at 2.
So bump it up. And then, oh, that's minimum is 2. Okay. What's the maximum stress?
20.
What happens when we get to 20?
Um, you're in a lot of trouble if you
Yeah.
reach 20.
So I'm at
We start
5 of 20 right now.
Mhm.
Doctor, what are you at? 12 of
I'm
20?
at 12.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. That escalated quickly.
Well, I don't know. My first of all, I had the magnetic chess set up, and then somehow the pawn got away from me, and it's somewhere in the bill in the shuttle, but I don't know where it is. So we can't play chess, and
I think I heard it rattling around in one of the air ventilators.
it's just everything that we do irritates. We try very hard not to irritate each other, but
It's the
oddly
cold, it
enough,
gets to
being
you.
kind to one another is the most irritating fucking thing of all. So I doubt that I'm talking to anybody at this point.
Sorry, I should clarify something. Lifter, you don't take any stress at all. You're If
What?
that wasn't clear.
He's an android.
He's an ant. He can just shut himself off for long periods of time.
How do we calm back down after we're stressed out?
Oh, you need to spend, several days relaxing. Like it's quite a lengthy process of
Okay.
finding the time and the space to decompress or certain drugs.
Yeah, I didn't
I have
bring any
my
drugs.
I don't have drugs, but my personal item is a magazine that I'm not going to show anybody while we're there. It's hidden away in my bunk, but it's one of those magazines you probably don't really want to look at what it is. It's a Guns and
Yeah,
Ammos magazine. Very dirty. I look at it every night.
stuff
Yeah,
like
managing to
hot
keep some
butts.
small secrets on this ship. So Dr. Neil Foddy, you did not handle this journey very well.
No, I probably brought a couple of books with me, and I've read them 5 times now. I don't want to read them again.
And burnout, you also, I mean, apropos of your name, you also took quite a bit of stress. How have you been holding up or failing to hold up on this journey?
Well, I am effectively flying a tin can beyond its limits. So I'm a little bit stressed out. I'm constantly going over the equipment, fussing about everything. Every little light that pops on is like irritating to me.
There's
Yeah, the
another
blinking
thing that
lights.
you've come to realize, Conrad. There's this little bit of doubt that starts to creep into the back of your mind. I mean, this thing barely flies. What if it's not going to be able to get you home?
Yeah, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that.
Do you voice this concern to any of the others?
I do not. I do not. I think that makes
I'm
sense with
aware,
this.
however.
I'm sure
The
everybody is
chance.
aware. It shimmies and shakes, and it's this is not a comfortable ride.
Liftar, how often do you power yourself back up?
Oh, every time I choose to power down, I give the rest of them instructions to turn me on as soon as there's any kind of use for me. So I'm assuming they hardly ever do, but I will occasionally, probably once a week at minimum, come check in on them. I was specifically contemplating, which is new to me, and I'll approach the doctor and say, Dr. Thotty-2, I have yet to find your pawn, I'm sorry, but it's occurred to me that uh, the whole point of this mission is the potential of a second radiation burst. I survived the first one, but after my upgrades, do, do you think that I'd be able to survive another?
You're muted, Tom.
I am.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you there.
Can you hear me? Okay. Um, I was like, what did you ask again? I was,
Be on mute.
Well, yeah, yes, I don't have the pawn. I'm sorry. I know that that's what you've mostly been wanting me to do, but I was able to survive one radiation burst, which had made me come to the conclusion that I was immune to it. But after the upgrades I've undergone, do you think I may be susceptible now?
well, you were given class five shielding, uh, but there was class five shielding on parts of the station, and they got the electronics got fried. I'm not sure why you managed
They
to
told
not
me
get
it was because
fried.
I was so simple.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not completely familiar with your manufacturer. I know the more modern ones have a lot of um, FTL junctions inside them, but I don't know, maybe you're so simple. I don't know. I don't know the answer. It's likely we're all going to end up, uh, I don't know. I don't know. This is almost unbearable, but I guess we have to endure it for the sake of the others. I'm not so sure they didn't just get rid of us because, they wanted our food. But I
I
don't
take
know. I
very
don't know.
little food. Well,
Yeah,
and
we'll,
I had overheard some talks that are stored in my memory banks. How knowledgeable are you on radiation?
well, I'm a professor of physics, so I know it
Good.
pretty well.
Well, what classifies a burst? It had seemed to me that radiation is typically a constant phenomena.
Well, natural phenomena. Yeah, it would be a natural phenomena. I mean, it could be caused by an explosion, which might
Oh,
send out a burst of radiation. Um, but it acted a lot more like a concentrated signal. And if you're trying to communicate with sending messages to aliens, you need a super powerful concentrated burst of energy to send it. It's not very efficient, but I mean, if that's all you got, that's all you got. Um, it did seem to be directed. See, we don't know. I mean, was it directed right at us, or did it go in all directions from that planet? All of our instruments got fried, and we just don't know what happened. But if we get there and we find some facility that's got a big old dish pointed right at our colony, then we just blow the fucking thing up, and they
see.
could never do it again or something like that.
The theories that I had heard were a volcano or a fissure, but the fact that we're even going on this mission means that it's probably not something natural, like a volcano or a fissure.
Worst thing is, it could be something more unexpected. We could be heading towards a planet that's the wrong destination. There could have been a distant star on the other side of that, just happened to be in that direction, that sent out a gamma ray burst right at us, and we got fried. I don't know.
I see.
Uh,
Well, thank you for your insights. Does anyone need anything?
you gonna go shut yourself down?
Yeah, I'm feeling bored.
Aren't we all?
How are you?
Yeah. I'm to make that a poignant statement, I'm just going to walk away from Liftar, and I think I'll go sit up in the co-pilot seat next to Burnout and just stare at him because I want to provoke some sort of response.
I sit in a pilot seat straight on, and finally, after a few minutes, I'll turn my head and I'll look at Neil and I'll say, "What?"
The robot's bored.
Okay.
I'm bored too. I mean, we don't even have weapons. We can't do some fun target practice or anything like that. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the Marines are up to. Um,
I'm just here to make sure this thing gets to its destination and in one piece, and that we can get back home. So far, so good. So far, so good.
yep, still going in that direction towards the planet. Can we even see the planet yet, or is it still just a blip?
Oh, at this point, you're still maybe a month or two you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I point at a spot and I'm like, yeah, there's where we're going.
Are you dead sure that we're on course? We're not heading out into the void.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm real sure.
I'm gonna go back in the back and see what the Marines are doing. Hopefully they're not doing anything other than just being Marines.
It looks like Gina Marie was busy cleaning that gun.
Gina Marie, you have cleaned that gun 793 times.
Gotta be clean. I don't know what we're going into. There's literally nothing to do here. It's too bad we can't do any target practice.
800 is standard, so almost there.
Did you want to give it a try?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
Hey,
How
this is
fast can you how fast can you take it apart and put it back together?
Oh, let's go. There you go. Got it.
we'll
Pretty
reminisce
damn
about the
fast.
make and model, and that's a
Yeah,
damn fine weapon you got there.
that's right. I mean, they don't make these like this anymore. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, I mean, you've got a nice bed. Quarters are a little cramped, but I mean, I'm up every morning, 5 a.m., running around this place, make sure I get my 5 miles in.
I
Wait,
We
do we
couldn't
have,
know.
help checking.
We know. I sit at my desk and like, Gina,
yep.
Gina,
You
Gina.
should join me tomorrow. That's probably would make you feel better. That'll make you less stressed if you got up and got more physically active.
Yeah, maybe I will, but I won't be able to keep up with you.
I'll go slow. I'll lap you. We'll do a relay race. I could put us a little obstacle course together. That's what all the crew, we're all gonna wake up tomorrow 5 a.m. and we're gonna do a boot camp. We got time. By the time we get to our destination, you guys will be in tip-top shape.
You know, if we get injured, we're fucked. Oh, it'll give Liftar something to do, I guess.
Yeah, he's
He
probably
said
pretty
he's
bored.
bored.
Yeah. I mean, he
I
likes to
prefer
lift.
to.
I'm gonna see if he wants to join us. He loves lifting.
It's important to stay in shape, like you said. I've already received commendations for injuries. I'm not looking to get another one.
The best way to prevent an injury is to work out so don't get injured. It's gonna hurt, but it's fine.
That's right.
I'm gonna go look for that fucking pawn.
You don't want to do any pull-ups? I was
Oh yeah,
gonna.
let's
In
go.
zero G, you know how easy that is? Do it
Yeah, it
like
makes you feel
this,
great.
do it like this.
We're up to 3,900, but we're trying to break the record.
You can do your rhythmical
All right.
exercises. I'm gonna look for that fucking pawn. If I find that pawn,
One,
so help me
two.
God.
I mean, we could just carve a new one. Just use a little stick man.
Give him a bullet.
So I'm gonna climb around and look for
So
that pawn.
after that series of conversations, another another month or two go by, and slowly it's within visual range. Finally, you see this pale blue, bluish white dot out the front viewports.
Well, there she is. Probably prettier when we get closer. Right now, she's just kind of glaring in the sun, but
Oh
Oh,
no.
yeah, yeah. I see it. Yeah. Okay. So
do you have
I'm
any?
confused. What do you want me to do?
Oh, uh, just amuse yourself by staring at it.
Hmm.
I'm going to get out any instruments that I might have to see if I could take some readings, since we know nothing about it, except it's a frozen piece of rock.
Yeah, so these initial readings that you take confirm that it is in fact a frozen piece of rock.
No atmosphere at all, spectrograph,
Barely any.
uh, mostly carbon dioxide or nitrogen, not breathable.
Have you ever been to
Uh,
such an inhospitable place before, Doctor?
Not on purpose. Uh, no, most places I've been were already terraformed, so they weren't they weren't nearly this bad. I mean, we really got screwed on this. We ended up out here. This should have been a not just out here, but on on A9972, that might turn into a nice planet someday, but this burst fucked us all over. Uh, FUBAR, as you military folks used to say. Um, can I scan to see if there's any evidence of life, like methane in the atmosphere or um,
Yeah, there's nothing you look for all the light that's coming off of it. You don't see any methane. You don't see anything like organic carbons or what have you.
well, it might be a natural phenomena. Anyways, we won't know for another, what, 2 weeks as we're getting closer.
Yeah, it's not as long as it has been, which is always good.
We should all start singing sea shanties. Keep up our spirits if we don't beat the hell out of each other.
Maybe a lifter should take a preliminary look at Mr. Conrad. He's bags under his eyes. They're pretty extreme.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just need more coffee. That's all I need. Just more coffee.
He
Think you can
appears
lift
to be
that lifter?
moving and breathing. In fact, but Captain Conrad, we haven't spoken much. I want to say the patch on your uniform I've always found incredibly inspiring. Do your
Oh,
job.
yeah. I think that's a great motto. Do your
Yes.
job.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
I it feels as though you're saying it to me every time I look at you, and I appreciate that. I like doing my job. My
lift,
job is still to wait, right?
At
well,
least for me.
Lifter, you're one of those people that unfortunately have an incredible amounts of boredom. And then it goes into incredible amounts of excitement. And then back to boredom.
I hope that there's things to lift and things to save on this ice rock.
I'm not sure, but I certainly hope that you can find some purpose in this mission in that fashion.
Well, does anybody need anything?
Yeah, were you going to work out with us again in the morning?
Yeah, I'm not sure that it benefits me the same way it does you, but I like to be included. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I mean, we like to lift heavy things up and then we put them back down again.
Yeah, but nothing is heavy in here.
Well, maybe if you could push down on the things I'm lifting so
Hmm.
I can lift the thing so
All
that
right.
my muscles won't keep disappearing.
I think we can recruit Rifter's hydraulics to provide extra weight. He can push down and we can try and lift up your arm.
Yeah.
I bet if we both try, we can move it a little.
We'll need to be careful. I might crush you two.
Just so your primer's to the weakest as possible. And I want to make sure your treads on your bottom of your feet are suitable for ice terrain before we touch down.
Here, let's try it. Here. Okay. Ready? I'm gonna do it. Okay.
Lift with your legs.
Yeah, just a very
It's
steady
working.
movement.
I feel something.
He's definitely moving.
Finally. Let's go. That was great.
I'm pretty sure we got it at a centimeter.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got to get the doctor in on this though, because he's been avoiding me, like awkwardly avoiding me. I like go to his cabin, like go to his bunk every day at 5 a.m. and like he's like, "No, I'm tired. I'll just come tomorrow." And I'm like, "Well, tomorrow. Today's tomorrow, right? So let's go." And he just keeps blowing me off. He seems a little stressed. So
I think the doctor is trying to exercise his brain, but much like how there's no gravity here, there's nothing to challenge that.
Did they send us with like any like novels or like a series that we can watch?
Dr. Thoughty has read everything
Oh
twice at
my
this point.
I've got
gosh.
3 books here. Welcome to them.
Three? They didn't send us with
Yes.
more media than that?
He even popped
Well, it's
open
too
this
much
panel
weight.
and read my entire manual.
Oh my God.
I hope you like Harry Potter.
Maybe
Not
he
the
should,
first book, but the third and the seventh and the
maybe you should write us a book. That would be entertaining for you. We could write
do.
one of those books where we each write a paragraph and then pass it to a different person to make the story up.
Yeah, I'll write a crime drama with lots of guns.
Yes, let's go.
Well, I mean, there's mind things. You could try to, we could do the whole thing where we go through the alphabet, letter A, and you name all of the guns that begin with letter A, and then B, and you do all the
Me and
guns.
Gina will start going back and forth with as many of these letters we can think of one at a time.
I'll name all of the elementary particles.
Every
That
time you
one's
see a
Bob,
star,
that
say
one's
it the
Mike,
same.
that one's John.
Once we get
So
together with guns, we're gonna start out on foods.
We
so
need to,
after
yeah, not go crazy.
yeah, so after
Oh no.
Crazy?
those 2 last weeks, oh, as I freeze.
A
Yeah.
little bit, but you're back.
Okay, I'm back. It looks like, yeah. There it goes. Your internet connection is unstable. There's a massive storm blowing in, so I apologize for the spottiness. Um, so after 2 weeks, you finally are in orbit. And in a way, this planet is quite beautiful. Um, the way is kind of this arrays of bluish whites that kind of sparkle in the starlight. And you get a radio communication from 9972. Delilah, this is mission control. By our estimates, you should be within orbit of 9973. Please verify mission status. Over.
Uh, Delilah to Mission Control. This is Captain Conrad. We have arrived at the planet and are in orbit. Over.
Well, it's going to take them 7 minutes to get your message.
At least we know the radios are working properly. That's good news.
Yeah.
Great flying.
So I owe it all to Delilah here, and I gently pat the console.
Several of the lights blink out.
I
I have a
say nothing,
flashlight.
but you can see like a vein pop out in my head.
I take my tactical flashlight and I'll give you some light. We'll get it repaired.
Almost there, folks.
Yeah. So, Doctor, do you know what we might be looking for on this planet?
Well, I was hoping, I mean, it's got to be, we can calculate from the spin of the planet what side of the planet was facing ours uh, when the burst occurred. Um, I assume that our scanners and or, telescopic lenses would see any kind of facilities or structures on the planet. Uh, do we see anything?
So your preliminary sweeps, you don't see anything really. Um,
Do we see any indication of an explosion or?
no, like the ice seems pristine from this high up anyway. Everything Everything at
So
this initial stage looks, I don't know,
I'm going to
normal.
give you some coordinates. And if you could set us down as close to those coordinates as possible, by my calculations, that would have been directly facing our planet when the burst occurred. So if there is anything, that's probably where it's going to have come from, if that makes sense. Best guess. It's always best guess.
It's a good place to start.
Okay, so you eventually mission control gets back to you that they've received your acknowledgement and they just request that you send them any pertinent updates. They will be checking in with you every hour, just to make sure that everything is still um, that you are still on mission, that nothing has happened to you, et cetera, et cetera. And so you go to these designated coordinates from Dr. Thoughty 2. And at this point, your kind of scans of the planet surface below um, pick up something that's anomalous.
There, that on the, did you see that? Something, there is something there. I don't
Is
think
it
that's,
an energy signal or uh,
It's like
radiation?
it's more of just like you've basically been doing a radar s- scan of the surface, essentially. You've been bouncing sound waves off of it. And just the algorithm, um, your system that is like automatically processing these scans has just found like there's something on the surface that's an anomaly. Um, there's basically something down on the surface that it's picked up. Very small. It's very small, whatever it is, that it's picked something up.
no, that's the spot. That's as good a guess as any.
Okay. Uh, so if we're all good to go, we'll take it down.
Every, everybody strap in.
Oh, I'm strapping.
All right, Burnout, give me a piloting roll.
Okay. Uh, that's using intellect, right?
Intellector speed.
Okay. Plus 15. Shit. No.
Did
Can
you
I
No.
get a critical
co-pilot and
fail?
help?
81's not going to do it.
Okay, 80. At least it's not a critical.
No, no, it's not a
So
critical.
so this landing is quite rough. So you can all gain one stress as you're coming in.
Just for impact.
Ah,
It's a thin atmosphere, but it still gives you a little bit of kicks on the way
Chop.
down, and
ah.
lights start blinking on and off. Like you start hearing like woo woo woo, like alarms and things. But eventually you kind of pace and glide for a little bit and come to a
Swear to God,
stop.
I'm never going to get used to that.
Off the ground.
Mhm.
I've had better landings.
Everybody in one piece?
Yeah, I'm going
Barely.
to suit up because as soon as I can get off this damn fucking shuttle, walk around on the surface of something other than this deck.
I'm
Let's
waiting
see
right by the
that.
door.
Put on the vac suit. So, wait, do you guys want to go out and me stay here? Because they're going to be checking in every hour.
Do we
Yes,
have short-range
when
communications?
Yes.
I do. I have a radio too. Uh, when we land, we'll take a forward scouting party to assess the immediate situation. We don't know what's down there. It could be anything. We'll rendezvous back at the ship, stay close by to each other.
Doctor, are you coming with us, or are you staying on
Oh
the ship?
yeah, I got to get off this ship at least for a while. Is it dangerous? Yes. May we all die? Probably, but I don't want to die here. I want to die somewhere else.
That's the spirit.
No,
That's
you might
good.
need my expertise to know what the hell we're looking at.
How is the gravity faring for you all? It's an adjustment for me. I can't tell if this is lighter or heavier than we're used to.
About half Earth.
Yeah, it's about half Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, feels actually kind of well. We're still kind of weak from the months of anti-grav. So, um, all right. Is everybody suited up?
Is there like heating in our suits?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna turn mine on extra hot.
Can I go suitless?
Yes, you will. You are well adapted to all sorts of hazardous conditions.
Great.
So no suit required for you.
Okay. I'm
And
bringing all the gear we need.
So the four of you are leaving, and Burnout, it sounds like you are staying with the ship.
I'm going to stay with the ship, do some checks, diagnostics of the systems while they are out, and also monitor the radio waves. That's my job.
Captain, my primary purpose was construction. If you find any necessary repairs, let me know.
I certainly will. I just need to. That descent was a little rougher than I anticipated, so I just want to do some checking while you guys are out.
Absolutely. Make sure we didn't sustain any damage.
Are you comfortable being in the ship on your own?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go, 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 go.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
If there's any problem while we're away, you can communicate to us via my shortwave. We'll come right back. I'll put
Okay,
on.
so
People, communication lines open.
So you have landed about 2 kilometers away from the anomaly.
Bit of a walk. What's the surface like? I mean, we carefully.
The surface seems to be, it looks like that there's some kind of rocky surface, but it's all covered with snow
Ice.
and ice, basically. Um, so it's a bit of like you have to kind of climb in certain at certain points to get around. So
And temperature is 200 degrees below zero,
yeah,
probably.
it's incredibly cold. So you wouldn't survive for very long without your
No.
suits.
As we get out, I'll make sure everyone's hooked up to the radios, and I'll radio through everyone's headset. I'll take point, and we'll begin to survey the area. And Miss Marie, stay by Dr. Neal as much as possible in case he slips.
Now I've
He's a
got any
priority.
equipment.
We can't hear you.
Oh, no.
Error,
Now you can
error.
hear me?
There we
There you
go.
go.
That's weird. Wonder why it's
The
doing
radios
that.
keep malfunctioning. It's terrible.
Yeah. I'm going to have with me any portable equipment that I might need to analyze anything that we come across.
All right.
All right. I'm just so glad to be out of the shuttle.
Stretch those legs.
So are there many features or is it fairly flat? Any mountains?
There are some, you can see some mountains off in the distance. There are some like ridges and things. So you're kind of going uphill for a little bit.
So we can have some fun naming things. We can say that peak over there is Peak Gina Marie,
Let's go. That's my peak right there. I'm gonna take a
Peak
picture of
Echo
it.
Havoc,
That's a good one. You got a good one.
Burnout Mountain.
Which one's yours?
Ah,
The big one?
we'll name the
One that
anomaly
looks
after me.
Ooh. That'll be a nice discovery.
memorize those positions in case we get separated.
I'm gonna like bump my elbow into the doctor. Feeling a little bit better. Feeling a little bit better now that we're outside. This
Now
is
that we've got
nice.
gravity, now that we're oriented, yeah,
This is good. This is nice gravity too.
makes me want to take off my helmet and take a nice breath of fresh air.
Ah!
So
Well,
you crest a hill and you see down in the valley below you this, it blinds you at first, but there's this metallic object half buried in the snow.
that
How large?
Well, it's not that much larger than the Delilah. It's pretty
is it
small.
is it symmetrical? Is it simple, or could it be a ship of some
Yeah, the
sort?
longer you look at it, well, yeah, this seems to be like a ship.
Oh, it's a ship. I don't recognize any kind of make, though. The color is odd as we're heading
Likely,
towards it.
unlikely there'd be any survivors. If there was a crew, we should search to see if they have any information.
Might not even be our species. We're on the edge of terraformed space.
All right. Gina Marie, you should come with me and let's check it out ahead of Dr. Neal, and we'll radio when it is clear to come through.
If you'd like, I have a lot of experience moving rubble. I could grab onto it and try to lift it out of the snow.
We might need you in case the doors are sealed closed.
Let's check for radiation or anything dangerous coming out of it, off of it.
So
All
yeah,
right.
Doctor Thoughty 2, you turn on your Geiger counter and it immediately goes.
Ooh.
Ooh, pretty high in rads.
All right, everybody
Uh,
halt.
I can calculate that we could probably survive a couple of hours, but after that, we're going to be taking too much radiation from it. And I don't know what happens if you open the door. It might be worse inside. Um, Lift, you should be completely immune to this kind of radiation, at least at this level.
Do we have anti-radiation pills?
Uh,
Yeah, it's mostly your suit is designed to protect you. Um,
right. That's why 2 hours or so before you have
Okay.
to consider.
Okay. Let's
so
go.
so the Marines are going first.
Yeah.
Well, with the radiation there, I will ask the doctor, do you have any sensor equipment that you can send in with the android before we get any closer?
Well, yeah, I can give him the Geiger counter as he approaches.
Let's see if the radiation's stronger near the metal vessel.
How do I operate this device, Doctor?
Go like this. Just hold it there.
Sure.
Tell us what the reading says.
All right. I would like to walk right up next to the thing and report the reading over the comms.
Yeah, so Lifter, as you get closer to it, you notice two forms, two vac suits, it looks like, sitting outside of the ship. One
Hmm.
seems to have their head resting on the other shoulder.
All right. My first aid training is going to come in, and I'll give them a gentle shake and ask, "Are you all right?"
They do not respond. Their kind of visors are crusted over with ice particles.
Everyone, there's two suits here. I'm assuming I'll lift one a little bit to feel if it is occupied.
Yeah, you rattle around a little bit. There's something in there.
Yeah.
Are they humanoid?
Yes, yes. I'm not sure if they're okay. They're not responding. And I can't remove them from the suits because that would be fatal.
Is there any insignia or writing on their suits?
Oh, please hold. I'll roll them around.
Yeah, you do notice that they seem to have some kind of logo on their shoulders.
Is it one I recognize?
Are you familiar with intergalactic uh, corporate logos?
No.
Yeah,
So I'll
you don't
describe
know
it to
what
the best of my ability. Just shapes.
Oh, oh. Does it sound familiar?
Yeah, the more you it's there's something about it that's a tree almost shape.
Oh, is this geez, Genesis Corporation or what the hell was the name of that
Here,
corporation?
here, doctor. I'll bring them over to you. We should get them to the shuttle anyways to check on them.
Okay, yeah, bring them over here, or at least one of them. Uh, oh, they look humans, like humans. Um, now that I see the logo,
Yeah, you remember Gaia Research Group.
this is Gaia Research Group. Oh, they probably created components lifter that are in your system. Uh, has Gaia now? What do I know about Gaia? Are they still around? Have they been around forever? I don't know what time it is for us.
Or in the time scale.
Yeah,
Gaia Research Group is fairly new on the scene.
they're the computer people. I think they do a lot of computer technology, big brain technology. Um, I don't think Lyft. I don't think that they're alive.
Oh, dear.
Sorry, Lift, are you okay?
Possibly.
Yes, I'm perfectly fine. I was wondering if they were here before the burst, then surely all of their systems are fried. But if they happen to have gotten here in the window between then and now, perhaps they have some kind of data on board that we could learn from.
Yeah, that'll definitely be important information on there. I'm wondering if they had a radiation leak and it killed them, or they could have been in orbit when the radiation burst hit and knocked them out of the sky.
They were sitting together, not in a state of obvious distress. It looked like they were trying to be comfortable.
Is there any brushing the snow and the ice off? Is there any name tags?
Yeah, so brushing it off, you get the name Miller.
And they're both Miller.
Yes.
Oh, they might be a married couple.
See if we can get the
Um,
last known date and time off their last
Yeah.
transmissions.
A Miller and S Miller.
yeah, we need to get their data recording device from inside.
I'll go look for the door.
Yeah, so again, like it looks like um this ship has taken a substantial beating. Um, in fact, looking at kind of some of the scarring in the deep ice, it's almost like it crashed here.
Or maybe it was knocked out of the sky. Because it doesn't look like the kind of ship that would have enough power to create a
No.
radiation burst like that. Yeah.
And you see one of the side doors is open. Kind
Uh-oh. Like
of
everything
nearby
on
where
this
you found the
planet,
figures.
it's frozen. No, you're back.
Freezing up. All right. Yeah, so there it seems to be an open hatch nearby where the two figures were laying against the side of the ship.
And the radiation, is it stronger coming through the door?
No.
Okay. Well, let's see what's inside. Um, I'm willing to risk the amount of radiation. It's not too excessive, not for a while. Um,
I'm going to hold a perimeter, make sure no one approaches us.
I don't think anybody's going to approach us, but
Or
it's good.
anything.
Uh, Gina Marie, you want to come with me just in case a
Yes.
giant ice snow monster jumps out and tries to
I'm here for any
eat me for
crazy
lunch?
spaghetti monsters that try to attack you.
I like your
You-
pink gun.
Thank you. They let us customize, you know,
Yeah.
since all the other crap that's been going on. They've lightened up on a lot of stuff lately. All right. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Well, maybe you check and make sure
All right, I'll go
somebody's not
first.
going to jump out at me, but I'm
Stay
right
right
behind you.
behind. So I go through the door.
Yeah, so you go in the door and their first impression is that this ship is much nicer than the Delilah, or it was before it crashed. Um, you see that it has a very you enter it and to your right seems to be kind of towards where the engines would be. You see lots of these little doors that look like cabins. Um, you've entered into what's like this kind of large galley space. So there's a table um, to your left. You see kind of a piloting um, setup. The front screens have been completely shattered. You can almost like through your suit, you can hear the wind whistling through here. Um, and on this central table, you see a few things laid out.
Is it a chessboard? If it's a chessboard, I'm taking the pawn.
You don't see a chessboard, but there does seem to be a map.
Oh,
Ooh, that's your department right there.
yeah. Well, I'll start looking around too and seeing what we can find if there's isolinear chips we can pull out that have whatever their data was. What's the map? Is it a star chart?
So you see that the map is a large printout of what looks to be the planetary surface. Um, and there are a few places kind of marked. Um,
Oh, look, they have Gina
uh,
Marie Peak marked right here.
Yeah,
There's
just write that right on there.
the chief mark, the chief peak right there.
yeah, so you see about maybe 2 dozen of these marks made, these circles.
It
Oh,
looks
like
like
not
you're
our
doing the
What
circles. Like,
surveying.
and you see there's a few there are a few notes by each of them. Each one has been numbered. So there's one that's number one, number two, number three, and so on.
What is the numbers? What do they go up to? What's the highest number?
So they've cataloged about 30. There's 30 dots here.
I want to see what the last one they did was. Wait, is this the planet, our planet? The one that we're on, the ice planet?
Yeah,
Yes.
it seems to match um, the nearby topography.
Okay, so ice planet, they've been checking stuff out, but they crashed. So have they been taking their craft from one spot to the other?
That's
And then they,
possible. Like I say, they could have been flying when the burst happened. Is there any pattern to the spots?
They seem pretty random. Um, but one of the things that you notice is that it looks like there's room in the ship for six people,
Yeah, but there's only
and there's
two
two
outside.
bodies.
four more. All right.
Four more
Is
people.
there like a computer console or something in this galley room, in this big room?
Yeah, there's lots of equipment. Nothing's powered on.
I'm gonna go jam the power button a couple of times. No?
Yeah, there's no
I'm
response.
okay, I'm gonna radio out. Chief, I
Silent
don't know if that's how
survivors.
they radio, if it's on their shoulder. I don't
Hey,
think
hey, it
so.
is now. Hey, it is now. That is how that's how you radio now.
Okay,
That's
Yep.
canon.
Chief, big room in here, no map on the table. There's a cockpit to the left, a big room in the middle, and then some, it looks like bunks or random doors over to the right. I'm gonna go ahead and start checking out the doors on the right. Looks like the doctor's gonna stay looking at this map, probably. But it's clear to come in. I'd come in if there's a lot to check out inside. Well, heads up. Looks like this could accommodate six individuals, and we've got eyes on two, so there's four more we're looking for. No power in the vessel.
Check to see for any signs of tracks leading away from the vessel as I head to your location. And yeah, I'll take a look around, see if there's any obvious signs of people walking away. I can't imagine there's too many weather here, so I'll mostly be looking for footprints. Do
We'll radio Max back at the ship. Max, we have discovered a Mach 17 colonial vessel, Gaia Group, designation RJ 911 2472. It looks like it might have been a survey ship that was
Hmm.
mapping out this planet. It's not, I don't think it's the source of the problem. I think something happened that damaged it. We found two bodies. We have reason to believe there may be four more people probably dead, frozen and dead. Um, Morgan, is there any indication of date? How long has this been here?
So you're looking at you look at each of the circles, there's a little date written.
Okay.
So it looks like they started charting about 4 months ago. The most recent one was 3 months ago at a date you recognize
Yeah. So
as the date of they were cataloging things up to
the
the day
burst.
of the burst. Yeah.
No way.
Well, if it knocked them out of the sky, that's what we would have expected. Um,
Or or they triggered something at site number 30.
they could have triggered something at site number 30. How far away is site number 30 from where we are?
Yeah, site number 30 is probably, I don't know, 20 kilometers away from here.
Yeah. They, in fact, might have been flying away from it when the burst hit. I'm thinking if we can figure out, I think the radiation might be coming from the ship core. If I can get that closed up, we might be able to at least partially repair this ship. We'll need glass. We'll need the shielding, but it looks bigger and more comfortable than our ship.
As he says that, I'm gonna go over to like the closest door over on the right and try to open it.
Yeah, and it opens. It's not locked.
Okay.
And you
So
see that there is a bed. There's a foot locker. There is some clothes hanging up in a small little locker.
gonna open the Foot Locker, looking for anything I can take with me and a name to see if this is Miller's room or someone else's room.
Yeah, so this one that you open up, you look at the name tag on all the like on the jackets and things that have been left here. This one it says Kim on it.
Okay. And anything of value in the Foot Locker?
You see some personal odds and ends. You find a photograph of six people in front of this what appears to be this ship. They all seem very happy. They're all posed. It's all very official. You see a photo of a two young women um, in front of some like an ocean somewhere. Um, you find boots, socks, just that's all you really find.
Okay. I'm gonna take the pictures with me and then go out. Doctor, we got pictures of the six right here.
So, yeah, if you want to collect those, maybe we can give them back to their families if we ever get out of this whole thing.
Oh, when I look at the
Um,
picture, do I see like what looks like the Millers in the picture?
Yeah, so you see a man and a woman who seem to have like their arms around each other. Everybody else is kind of standing around them.
And what
Um,
is the makeup of everybody else besides those two?
so you see that there's appears to be three women um, and one man, aside from the Millers.
Okay, cool, cool. And Kim was the woman.
Yeah, you see one of the women in that separate photograph you see in this photo.
Cool, nice. All right. Is Chief in here yet?
Yeah, heading that way. Was there any signs of anything outside, like people walking from here?
You don't see any tracks. You do, I
Yeah.
mean, as you've surveyed the terrain, it does look like there's this massive kind of burrow that's been carved. So it does look like the ship has kind of nosedived and carved its way to its current position.
I'll make sure to walk through that and just survey. And when I get to the door, come in and just say, it's like I thought, no sign of those missing four. But, Doctor, didn't you say the last time they made records was the exact same time as the blast?
yeah,
How could
they may have.
four people just walk away after exploding? Where are they?
Well, we don't know that there was an explosion. The signal itself would have been just radio waves, or
Oh, I see.
I mean, they could still be here someplace, probably, most likely, dead. But
I
there's also
survived just as you guys. It is an explosion for electronics.
right. There may, in fact, also be artificial life forms here. They wouldn't have needed rooms. Um,
Hmm.
Liftar, could you accompany me? We're going to make our way to the engineering part of this ship and see if there's not uh, something we can do. There's probably an exposed core. We can get
Oh,
rid of this radiation.
yes, of course. That'll be a slight shift. There's four missing people potentially in need of being saved. Humans require vast quantities of food and water on a regular basis. I would like to check their stores to see if the survivors perhaps took what they needed with them.
They would have had to. The door was actually open on the ship, so
I've been
there's
looking
no
this
atmosphere
entire
inside.
time. I haven't found any
Hmm.
bodies aboard. I think they must have packed what they could have and left.
So lift R, what you do notice, when you go to sleep back on the station, there's a little cubby that you go into. Um, you notice that there are probably four cubbies that are empty. So there seems to be four androids or robots that are also unaccounted for.
And from the photos, we're certain that the other four are human.
Yes.
Okay, so oh, I will mention that it's along with not having any human bodies, there's also no android bodies. So it is very possible that this small group of survivors were able to move out of here.
Or they were left back at Site 30,
That's what I was
and
thinking.
only the
Well,
Millers got away.
is their fridge stocked up? Is there a lot of food still left on this ship?
There's lots of like little
Russians.
you've seen them, the rations. They're these little packed protein bar looking things. Um, there's a lot like it looks like they were well stocked up to be six. You could feed six people for a year
Yeah.
on what they have stored in
Well,
here.
my thinking was that if they were going to abandon this place to create some other camp, they would have taken it all with them, so perhaps I'm wrong. I'll assist you with the reactor core, Doctor.
I'm going to call Max really quick and say, Max, is there any way you can move the ship closer to this one? Um, any repairs that might be made, we could work with the two ships together.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I can move a ship that way.
Okay.
Max,
As you
also let mission control know about the four missing people from Gaia.
Yeah, the six missing people, I think.
6.
Four androids.
Yeah, let mission control know we found so far.
Well, I
and
gave you the
go
the
ahead.
serial number for the ship.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
So Conrad, you've been spending time um, switching out fuses, trying to get this ship as repaired as you can. And you get this radio communication about things they want you to communicate back to mission control. And as you turn around to go back to the cockpit to radio back to mission control, you see a figure in a vac suit standing there, staring at you. There's a name tag that says Perez. And they go, Perez to Persephone. I think I found another anomaly over. And you hear this crackle come back. Report position over. Yeah, I'm at grid coordinate 127.552.539 over. What constitutes the anomaly over?
Uh,
You are, Julian.
yeah,
Max is seeing it. Yeah.
yeah. Max is seeing this. This is Max's reaction. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Um,
It appears a mirage of some kind, a ship, a memory maybe. I don't recognize them though. Over.
gonna walk up to this
They take a step
Perez
back.
person. I'm gonna keep walking towards them.
I seem to be being approached. Over. Don't panic. The visions all fade eventually.
So, no in a vac suit. I'm gonna try to like. Well, no, wait a minute. I'm not gonna be violent. I'm actually just gonna reach out and just put my hand on him.
And as soon as your hand touches it, you blink and they're gone. And your hand feels ice cold. You can make a reality save for me, please.
Oh my. Okay. Is that a fear save or
Um, did they get rid of reality save? I thought it was a separate
I see
save.
sanity, fear, and body.
Sanity, that's it.
okay? That
Changing things on me over editions.
shit. That is a critical failure on my part.
Okay, make a panic test.
So
And
good.
I roll over panic.
You want
I
to roll over your current stress.
okay, I just
It's a
uh,
D20, right?
yep,
Yeah.
just past that.
Yeah, so you don't panic, but your breathing is very much shallow at this point. Um,
I'm gonna rush to the radio and just uh Delilah to doctor, Delilah to doctor.
What's up, Neil? Oh, what's up, Max?
Uh there was the person here. There was a person here in a vac suit. Perez was on his vac suit talking.
Perez.
Yeah,
Tina, was one of those people named Perez? Did you see anything for that? It
I haven't seen anything about a pro. What did they look like? I have a picture.
evac suit.
Is
I
it?
So
didn't get a look at their face. I just saw their name.
and they're there with you. I think they're the survivors.
Well, no, they disappeared on me. They were reporting to someone, the Persephone, that it there was another anomaly found. I guess they were thinking I was an anomaly.
That's you're telling us that they were there and then they left, or they
No, 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 they didn't leave. They disappeared. I just tried to touch them and
that's
they disappeared.
that's strange. I don't know. You're gonna move the ship closer to us?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that right now.
Well,
Yeah.
what's wrong? I mean, we're going a little stir crazy. We've been going stir crazy for months, so maybe we're freaking each other out. We should have sent a psychologist along with us, but you know. Liftar, how are you doing on psychology? Can you heal a man's mind?
You lift their spirits.
It
Yeah.
was something that they were training me on, but unfortunately, I wasn't quite receptive to it. I
Ah,
started to understand the basics of linguistics.
yeah. Human brains are kind of freaky.
hmm And I can tell from that radio broadcast that I believe the captain is concerned.
Yes, concerned. We're all frazzled. Uh, let's get that core closed up. So Liftar and I are going to work on making sure if there's a radiation leak that it's closed up.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be from the damage done to the ship's core. There's definitely a radiation leak coming from here. So as the two of you start repairing that, Gina Marie and Havoc, what are you up to?
I want to try and find a manifest of who those crew members were, including the android specifications. They have one on board, maybe?
Okay, so you start looking around and you do eventually find, like you've recognized these on ships before. They're like a safe that holds records. Um, it is locked.
All right. I will let Miss Marie, we have a locked black box here. It contains all the records of the crew. We'll have to get through this lock, and then we'll be able to identify whether or not Perez was a member of this crew or something else.
Did you want me to shoot the lock off?
Let's see if we can find a crowbar.
Oh, okay.
Let's just find something to jam in the lock and wrench it open. Can I do like athletics on it?
No, I'm not going to make you roll.
We have an
So,
android too. He could probably open it.
yeah, that's Lift R has more than enough power to just wrench this thing open. And so what you find, Havoc, is the series of flight logs. Um, so it looks like this ship has been traveling for the last 5 years, and they've made a number of stops. They log all these different planetary surveys. Um,
Looking at it, I'll say, it looks
about
like
one per year, they've done a planetary survey.
they've been keeping records of planetary surveys. This must be some kind of survey group. Said we were designated Gaia. I think I heard about them. Some kind of preservationists, something like that. Can I match any of the names to the names that were the on the name tag of the hallucination? Perez, is that a member of this crew at all?
Sorry, give me one second here.
I'm assuming no, but I do want to get all their names.
Yeah, some of the
Do they have any logs of what they might have been doing last? If they were just taking records or if they had a specific mission?
okay. So the crew manifest. You have Ashley Miller, Samson Miller, Neva Perez, Liam Johnson, Dasam Kim. Sorry, I'm gonna completely butcher that. My apologies. And then Lisa Monica.
I'll say we got a Perez here.
You also see there are 4 androids. Um, they are all listed as surveyor androids, and they are just have letters. There's A, B, C, and D.
Okay. And was there any sort of mission report from Site 30, the last site that they were at? Were they just surveying it or anything like that?
So you see that um, they are they're conducting all these surveys, and you see that it's under the name Project Black Hole surveys. And you're looking at all the star systems they surveyed. They're all neatly clustered. Like it's this star system and all the neighboring ones. So they've been fairly localized. Um,
Doctor, you ever hear of Project Black Hole? Looks like that's what these Gaia members are working on, taking
No, I'm
surveys.
I'm not in any way associated with Gaia, so it's a huge corporation. They probably have all sorts of projects going on. Uh, I don't know. It's a kind of a silly name to give a project, but you think it has anything to do with singularities,
Well,
black holes? I don't.
it's kind of a coincidence, isn't it? That's the kind of story you hear growing up that fall into a black hole and then all of a sudden your spirit's stuck in another reality,
Huh,
causing all sorts of hallucinations and space
old
ghosts and stuff like that.
old video stories, yeah. But biggest problem is, because of physics, it would be damn near impossible to fall into a black hole.
Could a large enough blast of some kind of energy cause a hallucination or projection like that?
I don't know. You think maybe electromagnetic waves have fried our brain? They used to think that if you put people in certain machines that had electromagnetic waves that they could erase your brain.
What if
I don't know.
the missing people, what if they're not missing? What if they're right here with us and there actually is an anomaly? If we are to believe what Mr. Conrad saw is objective and truthful, they didn't seem hostile to him. They must be as
If
confused as we are.
if the ship if the ship crashed when the anomaly occurred, then that was months ago. Uh, we don't see any evidence that they were in the ship or are in the ship. So they either walked away or they were killed in the process, or they never left wherever they were surveying last. But I don't see how they could possibly have survived 3 months in evac suits.
Maybe we should go to that site, the last one where they were at. If this was some sort of escape and they crashed, maybe the evidence of what went on with that anomaly in the first
Well,
place.
it is our mission to find out what happened. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm I'm
Speechless.
I'm in agreement. It's about 20 miles or 20 kilometers away.
Mhm.
Max is bringing the ship over to us. Want to see if we can modify one or both of the ships to, uh, you know, salvage for us for our use. We could actually live in this one for a while. There's plenty of food,
That's a good
you
point.
know.
We'll have a second base of operations in case we need to fall back. We have supplies here, or we could take them with us, but we should examine Mr. Conrad before we go and let's not split up anymore. If there's some sort of unseen entities, be they human or otherwise, we should stay together.
Did Max talk to these people?
Let's ask him when he gets here.
Yeah.
I want to hear this from him.
I mean, he must have talked to somebody because he knew their names. You've verified their names, so he's not just stir crazy.
So
Unless there's some kind of gas leak in the pilot's chambers and he's making it
let's
all up.
let's go back to Conrad for a second. Are you in the process of flying the ship over to where they are?
I'd say by now, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you power on, your radio crackles to life. Persephone to Kim, please repeat last readout over. And the voice crackles back. That's right. Position is 93.09.72. Size 3 meters. Copy that, Kim.
I just listen. I don't respond.
Do we hear any interference on our?
No, no, you guys don't hear anything. Persephone, this is Perez. What's up, Perez? Ignore last anomaly. Doesn't seem to be stabilized over. Repeat. Yeah, the anomaly has dissipated over.
I just listen to the chatter as I fly the ship.
The radio, right as you're about to land, your radio crackles into life one more time. Delilah, this is mission control. Please check in over.
Yeah. Uh, Delilah to Mission Control. Conrad here. We are investigating a crashed ship upon the surface of this planet. More information will be forthcoming. Over and out.
All right, so the rest of you hear the ship land outside.
That should be Conrad. Uh, I'll go out to meet him.
Yeah, let's all go meet him.
I'm gonna stay in here. I'm gonna check out a couple more of the rooms while you guys go outside.
Yeah, I have a few more welds to make on this thing.
Max, open up the pod bay doors, please.
Boop, 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 boop.
Well,
Block
that was
him.
easy. Uh, yeah, we
Get
got
to his.
quite a nice ship over here.
Yeah, it looks okay. Uh, yeah, it's been interesting over here by myself. Yeah.
Is there
Well,
any
we
occurrence? You look a little rattled.
Oh yeah. I turned around after my last chat with the doctor here, and there stands Perez, whoever that is, in vac suit, chatting with somebody on the Persephone. Uh, and they were kind of looking at me like I was some kind of anomaly.
well, you're not
It,
crazy because we have confirmed that there were people here.
yeah, I'll
That's
show him the
good.
picture. Did he look like this?
I really didn't get a view of the face, but the visor was down. Uh, so I don't know what they looked like. Um, but funny thing, I was flying a ship over here and I start to hear chatter on the radio. Perez, somebody named Kim, and they were checking out something at one of the coordinates. I don't remember the coordinates, but something about 3 meters in size. And Perez says, "Oh, disregard about the anomaly. It doesn't seem to be seems to have dissipated."
Well, it sounds like, I'm wondering if we're experiencing some kind of echo.
It's kind of what
Uh,
I was thinking.
You think they're talking about us? We've dissipated from their view?
well,
Either
we know
that,
that. Go ahead.
or either that, or it's like the echo that the doctor just said. Maybe this is the old Perez, and maybe Perez was seeing something else that was much older that happened to be standing in the same spot. I don't know, but I'm not sure that was Perez I saw, or the real Perez.
I mean, timeline wise, we know that they crashed about 3 months ago. So if they're some sort of ghost, and I don't mean in the old fashioned, covered in a sheet, scaring people ghost, but some sort of echo, then we're the real ones and they're the fake, or they're the echo. It's not the other way around. They were definitely here before us. Um, I don't know. I've heard weird theories. Ghosts have kind of been part of human culture for the last million years. Uh, I've heard some people think that if there's something magnetic, maybe it records, trauma, mental trauma, like a tape recorder, or they used to call it tape recorder, and we're just picking up the echoes. I don't know. It's crazy. I think we should get the ships in tip-top condition and then go over and see what that anomaly is. It's 20 kilometers away. Maybe they found something. It's like they were looking for something on a planet that we'd already rejected as not terraformable.
The planets that they had already explored that were in a cluster near us, I wonder if any of them were terraformable or if they're all like this planet.
They all seem
That
to
might
be, yeah, you'd have to reference other charts to verify, but you don't. I mean, this area of space isn't colonized. Like you were from one of the first colonies in this area of space. Um,
I mean, come to think of it, if you're a huge corporation and you're funding certain projects, let's say you want to find some valuable metal like palladium, which is still incredibly valuable, and you find it, and then you don't want anybody else to come and find it, you could tell everybody that, the planet's not terraformable, and nobody's going to go double check. So maybe there was something out here that they were looking for that they found, and they're just telling everybody, oh, there's no point in looking there anymore. Because obviously they had people here 3 months ago.
plausible.
Max, did you talk to the ghosts?
I did not. the first one I saw Perez, I think I feel like that Perez reacted to my presence because I approached Perez and that Perez backed away. Um, the others, I just listened to the conversation. I was just more curious about what the chatter might be. I didn't want to interrupt, hoping I might learn a little bit more about them.
Hmm. Well, maybe next time something happens, let's try to interact. If they don't interact, then maybe they are just echoes.
Yeah. You don't suppose we're the anomalies, like the real anomalies, do you?
I think that we got here later than they did. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Timey-wimey, as they used to say.
Maybe the answer is stored in those missing androids. Maybe they can't be anomalies. Maybe only humans can.
Did
Maybe
anybody open the
somebody's,
cupboards? See if they're there?
we haven't completely
Still,
looked over the ship yet.
Ah, okay.
still a good amount of work to do. And we can check all the cabinets while we make sure if there's any supplies we can take, or we want to get both ships as operational as possible. There's not exactly a time restraint at the moment. We can make sure to check everything twice.
Yeah. And we want to make sure this doesn't happen, whatever happened doesn't happen again, but we have no time. It could happen today or it could happen a million years from now. So let's get everything together, get it organized. We've got Liftar is taking care of the radiation, we hope. And we've got food supplies and we've got different stuff than we had before. So let's seal up this ship and see if we can get an atmosphere in here.
So where is everybody at this point?
I think we're all right in the middle,
But if
except
you're gonna
Liftar
so
is
you're going in to repair the ship. That's what you're
the
doing.
if this is the Persephone, yeah, or at least not if we even can repair it. Um,
Sealing up the core.
yeah, fixing the course so it's not
Yeah, so you're trying
flooding
to
us with
reseal the ship.
radiation.
So Dr. Thoughty 2 is trying to reseal the ship.
Yeah,
Lifter, what are you doing?
Well, I'm following his instructions. I'm not entirely sure on how long that will take or how successful I will be,
Okay.
but I feel like we should get an idea pretty quickly of whether it's even worth trying.
Conrad, where are you? What are you doing?
I'd like to go over to the Persephone and
Okay.
check out the pods where the androids should be plugged into.
Okay, yeah, you find yeah, again, there's four there's four Android ports and they're all empty. Humanoid models, it looks like um it doesn't look like anything too advanced. I mean, Android technology at this point isn't very well advanced. Um, I mean, it's top of the line for what's available on the market, it seems like. There's no radically alien technology here. Um,
I I'd also like to look at the map and
mhm.
see if I can recognize any of the coordinates that I heard. See if anything jogs my
Yes,
memory.
so you see some of these coordinate numbers that they were talking about in the radio chatter marked. So there's a circle and then there's a coordinate number written by it. Some of them have a measurement. Um, some say 3 centimeters, some say 3 meters, some say 5 centimeters, 1 meter. There's just these little measurements by them. Some of them, anyway. And you notice one marked from where you just flew away from.
Ah,
He said this one was 3 meters, didn't he say?
That was a different one.
That was a
I see.
different one. Yeah.
Do they
But
mean crash ships?
I don't know. Maybe something to do with what they were looking for, or perhaps had found.
3 meters is not a large object, and 1 meter is even smaller. They're looking for something small.
Okay. So it sounds like Havoc, you're in the ship as well.
Yeah, I
Is
want to
happening?
double check their radio transmissions now and see if.
Their systems are still unpowered.
Okay. Well, I'll
Um,
help get those systems
Hey,
fixed if we can.
can we can we run a cable from one ship from the Delilah over? Maybe see if we can get at least a little
you
bit of
certainly
power.
can. But while this is going on, Gina Marie, where are you?
I want to just keep going and looking at everyone's bunk and looking in their foot lockers for anything interesting. So I went into
Okay.
the first one, which was Kim's, and then I go into the next one, and then the next one.
Yeah, so you go through and eventually you open one. And as you open it, laying on the bed, looking through a book, you see this petite red-haired woman um, reading in bed, and then she turns, sees you, and drops her book.
Hey, what? You're alive, guys! Someone's alive in here. Oh my God! So I like rush up to her. Are you okay?
And as soon as you rush up and you get close to her, she's gone.
Is the book on the bed?
No.
Wow! Oh my God! Oh my God! Guys,
What do you think? You found someone?
the redhead was here. There was a girl in here reading a book, and then I said, "Hey," and I rushed to her, and then she disappeared. She was in here.
Did she seem to
Oh my
hear
gosh.
you?
Where's my picture? Yeah, I startled her.
I got
She
the
was
phone.
looked up, wasn't expecting someone, and then seemed like she didn't know me, and then she freaked out and disappeared.
As you go to find the photos, Gina, you look at the footlocker. It's a little open, and you see a cover of a book inside.
So I grabbed the book out. It's the one she's reading.
It's the same book.
This is what she was reading, but she was sitting on the bed with the book in her hands. What book is it?
It's Moby Dick.
She was reading this lame book. See?
You ever read that one, Professor?
It's about dicks.
Please.
I don't know. Look, that's probably why she was startled, because she was reading a dick book.
So you saw her, she was reading, she saw you, you saw her, and then you tried to touch her and she disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gina Marie,
Maybe
you
we were.
said you recognized her from the photo?
So I grabbed the photo out
So she
and
wasn't
Yeah,
looked.
she's
in
she's
her
there.
she wasn't in her vac suit, even though the ship doesn't have suitable atmosphere?
No, no, red hair, small girl, red hair. This girl in the picture right
Well,
here.
she would have been frozen. Her blood vessels would have burst.
Nope.
There's
Wait. Oh my God. Oh my God, you're right.
Unless it was from something in the past.
well, that doesn't make any sense to me. How can Gina Marie see the past?
I'm wondering, I look around, are there any kind of holographic projectors?
No.
I don't know. I don't know, Liftar.
That's what we're
So,
trying to find out.
Gina, you can make a sanity save.
Okay, so I roll a d20.
Yep. Oh no,
And
no, you need
then
to roll 1d100 against your sanity save.
oh, a D100, like Cthulhu.
Yeah.
My sanity is 15,
Yep.
and I got a 0, 0, 9.
Okay, so you take some deep breaths.
No way.
You don't.
Just because I'm too dumb to really be bothered. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Doctor, do you think this radiation leak could be affecting?
Shouldn't,
I,
but
No,
there
because
could be something.
I saw her reading that book, and then I looked in her footlocker and saw
well,
the book. I've
yeah,
never even heard of this book before.
but you might have gone in a circle and looked in the footlocker first. I'm thinking perfectly rationally. You're talking about seeing things in the past. The doctor doesn't not make sense like this normally. I think this radiation is bad for your organs.
I'm going to check the radiation levels again if they've gone down now that the core is,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. They should be
Radiation levels.
within safety parameters. I'm wondering, can I look for like electromagnetic anomalies, like a big magnet or something nearby?
You you look for magnetic fields, and you currently don't find any.
There doesn't seem to be any electromagnetic anomalies.
Can I look
Could
through
there be
that
some
book?
sort?
Just flip through it.
Yeah. Yeah. You start flipping through it.
See if
Um,
there was anything written in the margins.
And her name is Queequeg.
They're looking for the white whale.
Are you looking in the dick book?
Yeah,
How is it?
I don't know yet.
It's
The
big and
reviews are
white
mixed. They're
with a blowhole.
We've been cooped up too long, Dr.
so you
Neil.
find a passage that has been highlighted. Is it that by its indefiniteness it shadows forth the heartless voids and immensities of the universe, and thus stabs us from behind with the thought of annihilation when beholding the white depths of the Milky Way? Or is it that as an essence, whiteness is not so much a color as the visible absence of color, and at the same time the concrete of all colors? It is for these reasons that there is such a dumb blankness, full of meaning, in a wide landscape of snows, a colorless all color of atheism from which we shrink. And with that, we will take a break.
Wow, break.
dun dun dun. Some love Moby Dick.
No more
Yeah, Morgan
Halloween
was
candy.
oh no, Morgan was describing that scene and I just got kind of captivated by it and I didn't know what.
I thought for a minute that you couldn't hear him.
No, I at first I didn't quite realize it was me, and then I did, and I was like, "Holy cow!" And then I just sort of was like captivated by it.
Janae. Well, I can use one of the new 5 minutes later that I got from. I got to save up the commercial though for something special.
Yeah,
I guess I'll have to save it up for something with a Carrera in it.
I mean, Cabrera.
Cabrera.
Is there like a setting like lore for the system?
Nope.
The only
You
lore is
just
stuff that Morgan has created as we've played along with the Gaia Corporation.
uh, I've seen a couple of your other Mothership games before. They're all connected, like in universe.
The ones that Morgan's done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Reminds me of Traveler. It's fun.
Yeah, at first we were like really enthusiastic for Gaia Corporation, and then as time has gone on, we're like, fuck Gaia Corporation. They use their people for their own means and don't really give a shit if you die in the
That one was
process.
awful. I think the other one was it the I was a Marine in it. It was gross. It was gross. It's a gross one with I think batteries. It had lots of batteries. That's what I'll say.
yeah. The first one I played in had a cliffhanger kind of ending to it. It's sort of like, well, did they die or did they not die? I don't know.
What was the one that you were in first?
Um, it was the one where we went to the archives.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Yes. Gemini 1
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
winter of our youth. That's what.
That was the name of it. Yeah.
I saw that one.
I remember mostly the one where Gaia Corporation was trying to get information out of my mother, and they were replaying her death over and over and over
Oh my
again,
God.
How gently the rain comes.
Oh my
and
God.
erasing our minds and putting us back in the same situation. I was like, fucking Gaia.
Okay, so are we ready to begin again?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to roll jury rigging, Conrad, to hook up the power cable from one ship to the other.
I don't have jury rigging. Can I use industrial equipment?
I'm going to say no because industrial equipment, you know how to use industrial equipment. You don't have any
Yeah.
such
Okay.
equipment, right? So jury rigging is something like this where you're trying to make some kind of mechanical or electrical system on the fly.
Okay. Well, I'll just roll it as a straight intellect skill then. Two.
Okay. So you managed to not blow out your system's power, um, basically jump starting the other ship. Um, but yeah, on the Persephone, all the lights and things come to life.
Well done, Max.
Yeah, I don't want to leave it hooked up too long. I don't know what kind of power drain this is going to have.
Well, we might be able to get the core back online now that we've got power and lights and computers, and then it can take over. I'll work with Liftar on that.
For transferring over their records.
Yeah, you see, I mean, much like what happened to you back on the back on A9972 seems to have happened to this ship. Like most of their computer systems are fried. Like they're written, like the written records in the black box are all fine. Those are unscathed, but all of this electronic equipment has been fried and scrambled.
So this ship is basically unflyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to get off the ground. So then it becomes salvage. If there's anything on this ship that we need that we can use on the other ship, certainly some of the food, we can transfer the food over to our ship.
I was particularly fond of C's cubby.
Was there something particular that you enjoyed about it?
I thought that the outlet was at a wonderful height and angle.
Maybe I can make an adjustment on the Delilah for you.
Oh, please.
Oh boy, I'm not going to say it.
Waist height. What I want to know is what they were marking down that was 1 to 3 meters. When I think of the name Project Black Hole, makes me think they were observing black holes. Something like that could put out radiation and an EMP.
I
I
would
don't
guess
see
that
any
if there
black
was a black
holes.
hole, it would be a huge thing somewhere nearby. We would all have seen it.
What if it's an anomalous black hole and we can't see it?
Micro black hole.
Then there wouldn't be a
Invisible
planet
hole?
here, correct?
Well, theoretically, a small black hole could just punch a hole through the planet. If it was moving fast enough, the planet would be damaged, but it wouldn't be destroyed. If it wasn't moving fast enough, it would just be oscillating back and forth, slowly punching holes in the planet until the whole planet was destroyed.
Well, if they were surveying these planets, maybe they were doing a weapons test and were surveying locations to do their weapons tests or something, and having us check it out with marine involvement. Maybe there is something going on between mega corporations that we're not supposed to know about.
The fact is, Guy was interested, and there was a gigantic anomalous burst of energy. I can only think of one good explanation, and that would be that they found evidence of an alien civilization or something, and then they fucked around with it, and it let out a burst. Why else would they spend all this time out here jumping from one little planet to the other in this system looking for something, digging little holes?
Well,
It's
I
weird.
I'm aware that this is beyond me, but I am trying to pay attention. It seems to me that whatever they were looking for is irrelevant because there was one burst and it was the last one they found. So I believe it was an accident, and for us to get to the bottom of things, we have to go there.
We do.
It's too bad we can't figure out what they did, so we don't do it too.
Well, if you see any big buttons, don't push them, I guess.
Okay.
It's a good point, though. I wouldn't want to run into something that reacts to our ship's equipment and detonates if we get too close or something like that. We'll have to make as long of a range scan as we can when we approach the area, stay as far back as we can,
Yeah.
approach with extreme caution.
So I say what do we do? Transfer all of the stuff that we need onto the Delilah and see if we can fly closer to the anomaly or the last surveyed spot.
Yeah. You heard the scientist. Miss Marie, you want to help me carry all these protein bars? We can split them.
I can hold lots of protein bars.
Here's a box. Start loading them up.
Yeah, and Left R, as you leave the shuttle with the first load of these ration bars, you see two figures outside looking down at the corpses.
I'll hold the box with one hand and wave with the other and say, "Hello! Who are you? I'm here to help."
They don't seem to acknowledge you. Um, these figures seem to be, you can see them clicking their radio transmitters. Um, and you know that the figures on the ground have Miller on their name tags, and you see the figures staring at them also have Miller as their name tags.
And I really need to get over there and talk to them, but first I need to put this package down. So I'm gonna go into our ship to put it down and then rush out.
And by the time you get back, they're gone.
Ah. Oh, I'll go back into the Persephone and say, "Everyone, there were two more people outside, two more Millers looking at the Millers. I had to put the box down before I could go to them. They didn't hear me when I shouted."
They seem to be able to see the corpses.
I Yeah, it must have scared them off. It's unsettling, to my understanding.
You know, I'm wondering if an old-fashioned approach to this might help. I'm going to, from this point on, carry around a notepad with me, and I am going to write on it, um, we are from uh, A9972. Our current date and time is this. There seems to be some sort of temporal anomaly. And then I can just hold it up for them to read uh, and see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen.
So you've transferred everything to the other ship. Are you all ready to go?
I think so.
Yeah, I'll help disconnect the cables and I'll direct Lifter to do all the heavy lifting. And once we're back on, I'll just say, well, according to your stories, these anomalous people are not reacting like you or I would. Maybe they're not seeing what we're seeing. Their own dead bodies. If they were humans, they would be panicking.
We could be blurry or ghost-like to them.
Your theory of an echo makes the most sense to me so far. Some sort of after image that isn't quite matching up to reality. I mean, that does sound like it's mostly harmless, at least.
Yeah, Max, when they saw you on the ship, they didn't call you a person. It
No.
called you an anomaly. So maybe you were just a blob of color in the
Electron.
air.
Yeah, it's hard to say what they actually perceived me to be. And it's also odd that they didn't see the ship that they were standing in, which I find strange.
They weren't looking around, huh?
No, no, they were seemed to be looking at in my direction, maybe at me.
Well, there will eventually be a rational explanation for all this.
Could be
Some
that
new
our
phenomena.
equipment, we might be putting off electromagnetic signals that they're reacting to, and our power sources are enabling them to manifest.
I mean, if it
It
was an
might
old
be,
sci-fi show, we're out of phase with them. But we'll see. Let's worry about finding out what the hell did this first.
yeah, our primary mission is finding out the identity of the anomaly in the first place. We don't
And
really have
preventing
to
it.
identify these people whatsoever.
Correct.
We have all we need for now. If anybody sees any more anomalies, make sure to report it to everybody as soon as you see it, though. Don't go uh, delivering boxes. If something like that comes over, any more anomalies, take priority. Alert everybody.
And don't try to touch them. Apparently that breaks the illusion.
Observe for as long as possible.
So you fly over to marker 30. Um, and from the air, it looks like just another vast expanse of white nothingness.
Set down over there, maybe 600 feet away from where the anomaly is supposed to be. Is there any kind of marker, a flag,
So you don't
anything
see a marker or a flag. You do see another vac suit in the snow.
over here? Let's check. So we
You look
walk
just
over towards
once,
it.
yeah. Go over towards it. It's kind of laying on its stomach, and its arm is outstretched. And just out of reach of its fingertips, you see this small, black, perfect sphere sitting in the snow.
Does it have reflections? Does it have
No.
what?
How wide across is the sphere? Is it the same amount of meters as was in their notation for this area?
Yeah, it's just small, just, I don't know,
If
five
it's
centimeters. Just a small, perfect black sphere.
Can we get any kind of like scientific readings off of this thing? Electromagnetics,
You take out your instruments for electromagnetism, you take out your Geiger counters, you nothing.
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 Is there any effect? Is the snow around it melted? Is it touching the ground?
You look at it and it seems to be like on top of the snow. It's not sunk into the snow. It's like
No
it's
weight.
weightless on top of the snow.
and I identify a name tag on the body.
This name tag says Kim.
All right, we found Kim.
Yeah, I also believe this must be what devastated our colony. So, if my memory of our mission is correct, we are supposed to either shoot it or bring it back. Oh, or turn it off. Doctor, what do you think?
I can't explain it at all. I mean,
Hmm.
it's definitely acting like some sort of void.
Well, Gina
Um,
Marie, you should shoot it, right?
No.
no, don't. I'm going to risk a little experiment. I'm going to take a little bit of snow and sprinkle it on top and see if it just vanishes out of.
As you're sprinkling snow, you start seeing sparks.
Oh my God.
There's an electrical fire. You're trapped in a corridor. You can barely breathe. The doors are sealing behind you.
Do I recognize the area that I'm in?
Yeah, you are on A9972.
When the anomaly hit?
Down the hallway, coming out of the fire, you see a figure in a vac suit.
Okay. I'm going to try to at least put something over my mouth so that I'm not breathing in too much smoke and stumble towards it. Help!
It holds up a written notebook that says, "We are from A9972. You are in a temporal anomaly."
Oh, at this point, I've lost speech for words. Now I need some stress.
Yeah, how about you make a sanity save?
Okay, insanity. I want to get over the sanity,
You want to roll below sanity.
below sanity. And I did not. I got 71 out of 55.
Okay, so gain a stress and make a panic test.
Okay. Where's my stress? Oh, okay. And panic test, I do. How do I do it?
1d20,
20?
and you want to roll above your stress.
Got 14 stress. I did not. I got 10.
Okay. Roll 1d20 again. Or
11.
11. Yeah, if you get this deep, penetrating paranoia, you no longer can tell what is real and what isn't.
So I'm
Are
going
you
to,
hallucinating as you're suffocating to death on the station? Are you hallucinating this ice planet? Are you hallucinating these people?
in the last,
You're sprinkling snow as you're in your last gasps. Is this what the end is like?
yeah, again, it must be my brain slowly shutting down from the lack of oxygen. Uh, I'm going to rage against the dying of the light and try to crawl out of the room towards uh, the figure holding my own notepad, reaching.
So the rest of you see Dr. Thoughty 2 walks over to the sphere, starts to sprinkle snow on it, and then collapses to the ground and starts crawling.
I rush over to him and start trying to pull him away.
And I'm probably zoned out.
Do you think he needs a medic? Is he okay?
He's not responding.
You can all take one stress for seeing
Oh
this.
no.
Doctor, can you hear me? Doctor.
Yeah, you're crawling through this fire. You're trying to get away, and you see all these figures in vac suits, like angels coming down, and grabbing onto you.
I'll I'll do this. So the universal sign of I can't breathe.
Gina Marie,
Floater.
I urge you to begin shooting at the orb. I will begin first aid on the doctor.
Shooting at the orb.
We're here to
Chief?
kill it.
Chief?
Uh, let's move away from this orb and then provide mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on the doctor loader. And I'll also start drawing my weapon.
My first aid is mostly shaking him and saying, "Are you okay? I'm here to help."
Can you imagine how does he do mouth to mouth without taking off?
That's weird.
His,
Yeah, it seems like a
his
really
robot lips are
bad
probably
place to do this.
I'm not taking his helmet off. I just shake and yell at him
Get him back to
Yeah.
the ship.
like a paint shaker.
Yeah. I'm like, Lifter, let's get him in the ship. Let's get him in the ship.
Yes, sir.
At some point, I probably pass out, um, but I probably don't die of suffocation because I'm not really
Correct.
suffocating.
Yes.
Chief, did you want me to grab that ball?
Don't touch it.
No, leave it.
Shoot at it?
No.
Yo or yeah?
I think that's a yeah. I think we gotta do something.
All right, I'm gonna
I'll
shoot at
cover
it.
you.
I'm backing away, and then when I'm like pretty far away, I will shoot at it.
I'll keep one hand on your shoulder with my gun in the other hand, walking
Okay.
backwards.
Okay. Gina Marie, you line up a shot, and you are knee deep in the dead.
No! Ah! And I just like try to crawl on top of them, crawl out of them.
You look up and you can see yourself starting to shovel in
Oh God.
dirt over you.
No! Oh my God.
If she looks like she's in distress, I'm gonna try and get her back to the ship.
Yeah, and for some reason, Gina, you feel that you're being pulled down
No! It's
deeper
like
and deeper
sucking
into the
me in.
bodies.
Oh my God. Oh, and I'm like trying to just like crawl out, like crawl out of it.
Don't worry, I got you.
Hopefully, I'm not like my finger's not still on the trigger, and I'm just like shooting.
Yeah,
Okay.
you've dropped the gun at this point.
Oh, okay. All right. That was only mildly stressful. I'm fine. It's fine.
Yeah, make a sanity save.
Okay. I have 7 stress and I rolled a 16.
Okay, you don't panic.
Same thing every day. It's fine.
So yeah,
Your Marine training.
eventually, as you're being dragged back to the ship, you shake it off and you're back on the
Marie,
ice ball.
Marie, can you hear me?
Chief, oh my God, I was back. I was back to like the day after with all the bodies. There were so many bodies. Oh, and I was being buried alive. Oh, it was awful. It was
Get back to
awful.
the ship. It's not safe out here.
Okay, I wouldn't, don't listen to the android when he says to shoot things. I don't think, and I help grab whoever and get him back to the ship.
Yeah, I'll make sure to grab your gun for you.
Oh, thanks. I was like, I dropped my gun.
You drop this, Marine.
Thank you. Oof. It's my security gun.
Conrad, as you're watching all of this happen, you see kneeling over the orb a vac suit that says Kim on the name tag, holding over some kind of device. Persephone, this is Kim. I found another specimen over. Copy that. Dimensions? This one's 5 centimeters. Any anomalies? And Kim looks up and looks directly at you. Pauses for a moment.
I'm gonna pull my revolver and shoot Kim.
Okay. So you roll combat.
Okay. 96.
So you miss, but Kim just jerks back and disappears.
Think I'm an anomaly, my ass.
Well, as soon as we hear the sound of gunfire, I'll radio over. What's going on?
I'm just shooting anomalies.
Hold your fire.
Was Gina Marie able to kill the orb?
Negative.
I believe the best course of action would be for me to carry it aboard and us to fly home.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I agree. I think we need to get to cut our losses and get out of here.
anyone that makes contact with that thing keeps having medical conditions. Nobody touch it. Everyone get back to the ship. We're radioing back to headquarters to fill out a report.
Oh,
We don't have the equipment to touch these things.
it's true. I forgot that we could contact headquarters, but it's all right if I get damaged. I can be repaired. I'm not too concerned about medical injuries. Captain, would you like to ask headquarters how we should proceed?
Yeah, I think this is a good time to check in with the folks, and I'll get on the radio and Delilah to Mission Control. We have investigated anomalies on the planet. We do not have enough equipment to ascertain or identify the cause. Whatever is here is incredibly dangerous. It causes hallucinations. Request advice. Over.
Roll this
Persephone
dice.
to unknown vessel. Identify yourself again. Over.
Persephone, this is Delilah. Over.
Please state your intention. Over.
Our intention is to investigate anomalies.
There's a slight pause. Negative, Delilah. This is surveying rights to this planet have been purchased by Gaia. For we reserve the rights to to any and all scientific studies done here for the time being. Over.
Persephone, you are welcome to any discoveries that you may find on this planet. Over.
Delilah, we would ask for identification. What is your affiliation? Over.
Persephone, we are a part of the colony on a something, something, something nearby.
I did not say.
Over.
Yeah.
Copy. As we understand, the colonial administration does not extend its jurisdiction to 9973. Over.
I believe that is correct. We detected a energy source emanating from this planet that caused disruptions on our colony. We were sent to investigate. Over.
Tell them the date.
We have no readings of any energy signatures. Over.
Persephone, what is the date?
Say again?
Persephone, I am inquiring today's date.
And the radio goes dead.
Yeah, it's time to go, guys.
Because some sort of temporal anomaly. I think those spheres, Project Black Hole. And then I slip back into semi-consciousness.
Doctor, wake up. There seems to be some sort of perimeter around this black hole anomaly that's sucking in any sort of signals, including our radio transmissions. Maybe we can get away from this area and try to boost the signal. Get to mission control. We're gonna have to
get away.
request.
We're not equipped to handle this. Whatever you do, don't shoot the damn thing.
Or sprinkle snow on it.
And as you're looking back out, all of you see this figure, this tall figure walking towards you in the snow.
Tall.
Its
It doesn't-
head is this strange triangular shape with these spherical black eyes that are pulsing. Its 6 arms are stretched out before it, and it cups in its hand this perfect black sphere. And it sets it down on top of the snow.
What the hell is that thing?
See, you can just pick it up. I'm gonna go talk to that thing.
No, 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 Lifter, no,
I
no.
am not boarding this ship without being able to talk to headquarters. I must make my own judgment calls, and I've questioned all of the decisions that the four of you have been making.
Lifter, this is a really bad idea. It's time to go. We need to at least get into orbit.
I came here on a mission. You can go to orbit if you so please. We need to deal with this.
Fuck him, leave him go.
And exactly what is your plan?
I need to figure out how to stop this thing from causing another radiation burst. Perhaps that gentleman will be able to answer some questions.
Lifter, it's been nice knowing you. You go have a nice conversation. The rest of you, let's get in the ship and get the hell out of here.
Keep your radio on, Lifter. I want to hear this.
I'll just toggle it to on.
Godspeed.
So you walk
Take.
up to this being in the snow.
Hello, I'm Lifter. I'm here to help.
It cocks its head to the one side, to the other side. It kind of gestures down to the sphere.
Would you like me to grab that for you?
It doesn't respond.
I'm gonna try to pick up the ball and hand it to him.
So everybody on the ship, when the radiation burst hits, all the lights go off on Delilah.
It's off.
Brace
The
for
air
impact. Everyone
circulation
grab
stops.
something. I'll help the doctor into his harness, his seats.
Not gonna help.
When the second,
Go ahead.
when the second radiation burst hits A9972, the damage that it does will leave future generations who come to this place wondering what exactly happened to the colony. What are you saying, Dr. Body 2?
Oh, I was just saying it's not going to help. We've been blasted. We've got no air. Our electronics are fried. Which I was going to ask if we had already made it into space or if we just come crashing back down onto the planet.
Crashing back down.
Yeah. Well, it's been nice knowing you all.
That is the end of our story.
3, 2, 1. So some sort of black hole anomaly.
Oh, sorry, guys. I tried. I was just a stupid robot.
Surprised they let you go out there to pick it up. No, so
Well, he weighs 500 pounds. We couldn't stop him.
Could have shot
If
me.
he wanted to.
Yeah.
no, so this Gaia research team has been going around and cataloging these spheres that have been left behind in this region of space. Cataloging them, studying them. There's like these complete enigmas. Until they got to this planet. And on this planet, one of the spheres remained active. And that sphere was causing, as you said, like these temporal anomalies. So it's not that you were seeing echoes of the past. It was that the past and the present were colliding. So
yeah.
like by the warping of the sphere. And so this alien, when it saw people coming to the sphere, it sent a message. And so it sent the message the first time, and then it sent this message the second time.
Reminds me a little of an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where they could feel the ripples of time changing as it sort of expanded out from the anomaly. Interesting.
Is there going to be imprints of us there now too? Our last moments.
Yeah, over and over and over again, we have to keep repeating the same horrible moments. Anyway, our players included Julian Arba, David Shiflett, Jenny Olson, Kaylin McDowell, and myself with Morgan Llewellyn as the Warden. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the strange and terrifying universe of the Mothership role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.